And then lastly, I'm just going to comment, because it won't come up later, that it's sad to see the evil that's out there as well. In the midst of all this the beauty, I've been getting death threats. Can you imagine? And people cursing us for decisions that we never had a chance to make, and they're just playing a blame game. So, Joe Biden didn't give us $10 million for a flood warning system. No, that's just false information. We did get $10 million in ARPA funds, okay, and we used it for a radio system to help with emergency response. So, anyway, I guess that's all I say, but I'll stop there.
Thank you. This is not a press conference.
No, but
Precinct 3.
I want my say.
God put us here for a reason. I found out what it was this week. Burn ban remains in effect. Please stay off the river for recreational boating. Last week, rain, rescue, and recovery. I was there and assisted in that one live rescue. I recovered a body as a volunteer and did lots of searches and stayed with our fire department mostly. So we switched roles between volunteers and commissioner. I think we're aware. But I always tell what I did last week, so I won't stop with that. I'm proud of Texas and the volunteers. You see what true grit looks like. It's out there in the faces and the arms and the hands of all those people helping. It's pretty impressive. We did do an NBC interview arranged by the JIC. I don't know if they'll broadcast it, but it does have Riddell, Holt, and Rice on it. Kind of telling the truth. I did meet the president and the first lady, but more importantly, those other first responders that did some miracle work out there. Just impressive people. If you're going to ask me what we need in the future, I always like to kind of seed things for our court. That's what I do. Cell service out west, sirens along the cities, and we need to probably think about more diversion dams, like the one that we voted on previously for grant money down on Cypress Creek in Guadalupe. We need to maybe have engineering look at that and consider more of those upriver. And then the water model does show 36 feet of water in what we saw and what I dealt with on the morning at 5 o'clock in Center Point, and that was moving at 1.5 million gallons per second. So those are the facts that the model show. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Again, I couldn't be more proud of all the first responders, both local, state, and everything. My 4 VFDs that I represent, hats off to them. They have been outstanding. They're there. They've lost equipment. Some of them lost everything they had, but they showed up. I told Commissioner Holt earlier, in times like this, there's people that run away from a fight, and there's those that run to it. We got a lot more running to it and answered the bell. The churches, oh wow, I wouldn't even begin to start naming them because I'd leave somebody out. They have stepped up in whatever role they needed to be, whether it's housing people, taking in donations, what have you. They're there, every one of them. It's amazing from day one. And food vendors, they've come from everywhere to feed us. The first responders, be on the spot. I've had so many call me and say, "Where can I go?" And I said, "I don't know where you could go." I mean, everybody had something. Hot meals, not just sandwiches and stuff. It's been amazing, and they want to break. More want to come in, but I don't know where I would send them that isn't covered right now. A biggie, false rumors. I spend every day I'm stomping out false rumors. And please check. Call us, check the websites, Facebook, whatever. And I've been checking social media. That's where I find a lot of them. And fortunately, I can get to the source and stomp them out pretty quickly. If it sounds too foolish to be true, it probably is. Follow Kerr County Facebook page, the website, mine, I put everything on mine. Don Harris, Kerr County Commissioner. Tom and I have been working on debris with Tatum all week long. I mean, we started, the first meeting was probably last Sunday before last, Tom, I think. And finally got it going our way. I think last Monday, Tom and I just took a huge sigh of relief when they said the state's taken over on the debris deal. Wow, that was a huge concern. Otherwise, it would have been dumped on us taxpayers. So that's huge. And that's about it. I want to keep it short.
Good. Let's move on to the consideration agenda. 1.1 is to consider, discuss, and take appropriate action following an update on the status of recovery efforts from the July 4th flooding. We've been hearing the status. One thing that and Sheriff, is there anything you'd like to report?
Real briefly.
I thought there was.
As y'all heard several times, search continues. Unfortunately, we lost about a half or three-quarter of a day yesterday to the river going up. But like I said, like y'all said, I've been assured by the governor and the president, we will have the resources to get the job done. How long is it going to take? Who knows? I think we'll still go strong for another month or two, up to maybe 6 months, winding down as we move on. But like I said, we continue to have the resources and assets we need, and we'll keep looking and moving forward. Judge.
For those of you that haven't driven by the Hill Country Event Center, it is buzzing. I don't know how many people we have that the state has deployed. I know that there are...
2,200 people.
2,200. And they are busy. And yes, the state has stepped up, and they're going to pay the lion's share of this debris removal. I can tell you that one of the most unique things about that building over there right now is, with all these various state agencies and federal agencies, we've got the FBI, we've got the DEA, we've got the Border Patrol, and the collaboration and cooperation is truly inspiring. I can tell you from everything that I've seen over there, and I've been in all those rooms, I've sat at most of those tables as I mingle around there at the Emergency Operations Center. There is not a single ego in that room, in all those rooms. They are there to serve. It is not about them. The egos, some of them out here in the public, we've had to deal with a little bit of that. But in that room, I'm telling you, those people have rolled up their sleeves, gone to work. What I say about emergency management, it's a process. And you do it one step at a time. And you work through it one step at a time. And that's what, in different roles, that's what every person on this court has done. Saturday morning, Commissioner Holt and I were out accepting another donation from USAA, another $1 million. I've got phone calls I haven't been able to return with people trying to donate money to help us. We are loved and cared for here. Know that. Know that these people have our backs, and we're going to get through this. And it's going to be one process at a time. We'll get to the lake when we get to the lake. And the first phase of any type of emergency response is search and rescue. And we have been up to our eyeballs in search and rescue. This is what, day 10?
Day 11, sir.
Day 11? I'm losing track. They all blend together. And search and rescue remains our top priority. But, and that's what we were doing yesterday. We've moved on to also include recovery. And that's where we had the people out in the river basin doing a lot of work. We're trying to get a handle on things. So just be patient with it as we go forward. I don't know of any particular action we can take other than the items we have on the agenda.
One more point, though, that needs to be made, and because I think the more you are informed, the better. We just can only deal with facts. And there is a plan in place right now to accomplish draining the lake.
And that's what I wanted to relate
Yeah, we can't go any further with that other than tell you that's being looked at right now.
And know that that is going to be an enormous undertaking because of the endangered species issues that we have. The mussels.
Right.
Hopefully they went downstream.
I think they got washed downstream.
They're
Right.
gone, all the
Right.
way.
I wouldn't assume that.
I think a lot of them are going to be stacked up right against that dam.
Yeah, you may be right. Yeah.
I was hoping the lily pads would be gone.
there is a
When the
plan
water
working right
recedes,
now.
they pop right back up.
Do we have any action that we need to take on just reporting the status of where we are with the disaster response? Okay.
Judge, just one thing for consideration is that I know this is gonna go on, and we probably need to think about scaling the EOC down to something long-term, to where we have butts and seats.
There
That's-
is.
That's in an update right now.
In fact, I can tell you that I was at this is EOC. I get into the badge. I was there yesterday, and I would say we're running about 50%
Right.
staff. We've got to rotate people out to get some rest. If you're not good for yourself, you're not good for anyone. And so we've been trying to get people to take a half a day off, and come in teams where, like yesterday, I was there, Dub was not. Dub's there today, I'll be back there this afternoon. That's kind of the way we're doing it.
Right.
Okay, so moving on to item 1.2. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve a non-disclosure agreement for access to a vendor security packet from UKG for a possible timekeeping system. Ms. Solden.
Good morning. This is just so that our IT director can have access to a vendor security packet to make sure that the security issues we want to have followed will be in place by that vendor. And I know the county attorney has approved and made suggested changes to the NDA prior to your signing.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the proposed NDA with UKG for a timekeeping system with that as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube and those of you in the courtroom that don't know Ms. Sullivan, she's our county treasurer. And so if there's any question about donations, she is our contact point. And you can access her through the website or call her directly. So,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
so we'll move on to your next issue, which is 1.3. Consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to authorize overtime pay instead of compensatory time earned for hours worked for all the non-exempt employees and straight time pay for exempt employees for hours worked over 40 hours directly related to responding to the July 4 flooding disaster through the pay period ending July 26. Ms. Sullivan.
So this is just to make sure that everybody who has been working with this flood actually gets paid. We want them to get paid. That's obviously up to you. I would like them to get paid. And this will take us through the following pay period, and if it looks like we still need that, I'll come back to you at that time.
Okay. It might be good if you explained to the public the difference between exempt and non-exempt.
Exempt would be salaried employees, the upper level management employees, and then the non-exempt is not those employees.
Right.
The majority of our employees.
And electeds are exempt.
Yes, but electeds will not receive
Right.
extra pay.
Right.
I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the overtime pay rather than compensatory time and the worked over 40 hours proposal, suggestion as presented by Ms. Sullivan.
And my understanding is that if we tried to go through the compensatory time earned, that would not be reimbursable.
Correct.
And that's the reason we chose to go
It
this
needs to be
direction.
actual paid time in order for it to count towards any
Correct.
reimbursable grants.
Right. Okay.
Okay. We've got a 9:30 item. We're pretty close. 1.4, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve and authorize the county judge to rescind court orders 37764 dated 15 October 2019. This court order approved an agreement between Kerr County and RX Technologies for managed security services. Corey Tennis.
Good morning, Court. Yes, we are Hill Country Strong. How we fight never dies. Yes, this contract signed almost 6 years ago now, has kind of run its course. It is no longer in a useful state. So the RX Technologies does not necessarily fit the role that we're looking to utilize. So my next timed item will actually lend into what our way ahead is. So.
I'll move for-
Why don't we call both of them together so you can explain that?
Okay,
Which
so
one?
Well, hold on.
Okay.
You want to call 1 point, the next one?
Okay.
Related.
1.6.
Anyway.
No, no.
1.5.
Let me call the other one, that way we can talk about both of them at the same time. 1.5, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to approve and authorize the county judge to sign agreements with Weaver Technologies to provide IT managed services, which would center on advanced level engineering technologies and capabilities, should the need arise. Service time is billed, paid for in block hours to use at our discretion. Mr. Tennis.
So on the, with the RX contract, we were billed on a monthly basis. No real set usage of hours, anything like that. The major projects that we have had here in the last year or two, prior to me coming, most of those projects also built in labor and support follow-on. So that's why the current agreement with RX Technologies is really no longer suited towards Kerr County. Weaver Technologies, which is actually based in Fredericksburg, also has a lot more experience and technical knowledge with a lot of our internal equipment. And this contract with them, once we get the final T's and I's done, we will actually be setting up in block hours, meaning we front pay for 20 hours, for example, and then we use those at our discretion should we need advanced engineering, advanced knowledge. So it's used on an as-needed basis, and it's much more efficient, and it's much more cost-effective for the county as well.
But I like what you're talking about doing, but how are you ever gonna budget it like that?
Let me weigh in here.
Sure.
He's talked to me about this. What we're really trying to do is provide whatever required notice is to go ahead and terminate the RX Technologies contract, which was done years ago, and authorize us to enter into a new contract with Weaver. Now, Weaver's, the way I understand it is, they're gonna bill more like a law firm would, or a architect or engineer that we hire. They charge us according to the amount of time and effort that they put into the project, rather than monthly, the way we did with RX.
So my budget plan is to still kind of front load
Okay.
for that. However, any projects that we do have coming on, again, it would be with the understanding that there would be some labor and support within that project itself. These extra block hours is if something arises that we just don't have the technical knowledge in-house to stand for. So,
Right.
yes, I'll front load my budget in case we need to, just kind of contingency type of stuff. But
Okay.
Just like we do all our consultants,
Right,
professional
right.
services.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's just when you
So-
throw in the block
Yeah.
terminology in there, it causes me to raise a few questions there.
He'll have to
Understood.
So,
amend it.
in order to have a motion and ask for a second, I'm gonna make a motion that we provide the requisite notice to terminate the contract with RX Technologies and authorize Mr. Tennis to be able to enter into a professional services contract with Weaver.
Yes, sir.
Your attorney's
We need to do
cringing.
one at a time, don't we?
Do one at a time, that would be very helpful. But
Okay.
I also have a question about the agreements with Weaver Technologies. Did you run those by Steve?
I have been working with Steve.
Okay.
I am waiting for a couple last little nuggets from Tammy at RX, or at, at Weaver, before we actually get into that. But even still, the RX Technologies contract needs to terminate.
And so will the item that relates to entering into the agreements come back once that agreement is finalized so the court has an opportunity to have a look at the agreement before they?
Yes, I will not, yes, I will make sure your office has.
So you wanna terminate on the 1.4, but you're not ready for 1.5 to be
Right, I was hoping to have a response back this morning. That did not happen. The RX termination It still is a 60-day
Yeah.
notification, so we'll still have coverage with them for the
Okay.
next
Let's
2
just do
months
that.
anyway.
Judge, I'll move for approval for 1.4.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve terminating the contract, giving the requisite notice for termination of contract with RX Technologies as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. We're going to pass on 1.5, but we understand what it is.
Yes, sir. All right.
Okay. So, 1.6, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to authorize Kerrville Independent School District to install a crosswalk on the Ranchero Road in front of Nimitz Elementary. Mr. Gore.
Morning, Judge and Commissioners. This item has to do with not just a crosswalk, but a blinking light that will be activated by a push button that will cross Ranchero near Nimitz Elementary. This will be paid for by KISD and installed by J3.
I move for approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve the, to install a crosswalk at Ranchero Road in front of Nimitz Elementary as presented. Any discussion? Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous. Thank you. 1.7, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action to go out for annual bids for delivered fuel. Ms. Hoffer.
Good morning. We are asking the court to give authorization for us to go out for our delivered fuels. This is what we do every year. Once we put out the bids, we will come back to the court to open the bids on September 8th, 2025, and also award the bids in court at that time.
I move for approval.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to approve putting out for annual bids for delivered fuel as presented. Any discussion?
Just thank you, Kelly, for everything Road and Bridge has been doing in this,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Amen.
this
Thank
thing
you.
with the flood. I mean, you guys have been
Yeah,
outstanding.
the same thing with Corey and them.
Oh, yeah.
We can't get enough thanks
I
out
know.
for everybody doing it.
I know,
But yes,
I know,
but
we
yeah,
always
y'all
leave somebody out, but,
Yeah,
y'all are appreciated.
you're right.
Okay. Those in favor? Raise your hand. Unanimous.
I'm sorry.
I saw the sheriff waving his little hand
Well-
back there. Yeah. Yeah, okay, Larry, you, appreciate you.
We still got Ms. Hoffer at the podium, so let me finish up with her, and then we can talk about this other stuff. 1.8, consider, discuss, and take appropriate action for Commissioners Court approval to trade RBU 256, a 2023 Caterpillar 930M loader, for a 2025 Caterpillar 930 loader. Ms. Hoffer.
I know this is a terrible time to be bringing something like this in, but we had bought that brand-new loader in 2023, and probably, I'll just read it. We purchased RBU 256 on 10/13 of 2023. It was a brand-new unit. We ran this loader for a few hours and started having issues with it on 10/17, so four days later. From 10/17 to 2023 to 5/14/2025, our loader has been in the shop on and off with Holt Caterpillar 7 times. We contacted the county attorney over this issue and thinking we had a lemon. In the state of Texas, they do not have lemon laws on heavy equipment. Over the course of the 7 shop visits over a period of 1 year and 8 months, the total labor hours is 390 hours, and the total parts cost is $94,601.94. All of this has been under the warranty. This last time we picked up the loader and got it back, it started to do the same thing and still was not fixed. At this point, we contacted Holt Cat and said we need a different unit. It's gonna cost us some money though, and needless to say, our trust in this unit is zero. Through all of this stuff with the flood, it sits in a corner and it's one of our newest loaders because nobody trusts it. This purchase will be under Sourcewell Contract 011723-CAT. It's a 24% discount. Caterpillar is giving us $196,000 for the trade-in unit, RBU 256. The additional monies for this purchase is $38,735, and we do have the money. At this time, I ask the Commissioners Court for their approval to allow the Road and Bridge Department to trade in RBU 256, a 2023 Caterpillar 930M loader, on a brand-new 2025 Caterpillar 930 loader and pay the additional $38,735 for the new cat loader.
I'll move for approval to make the trade and buy the new 25 Caterpillar 930 loader.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, how soon can that happen?
Yeah, I think pretty soon. I think they've got a unit waiting, so I think we ought to be
Okay.
able to do that pretty soon.
The only
Sooner
question
the better.
the only question I have is what confidence do we have it's the same model other than a couple years newer?
Holt's a good company, but
It
that's,
is.
you're gonna have that, you know,
Yeah, anyway.
it's luck of the draw sometimes.
Yeah,
We gotta
it's-
have something that works.
We believe it's something in the fuel system, and they have pretty much checked everything and replaced the whole fuel
Right.
system.
Most things Holt are questionable, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We won't go there.
Not related.
Any other discussion?
unfortunately.
Those in favor, raise your hand. Unanimous, thank you.
thank you.
Sorry, bro.
We're actually a little ahead. I didn't know how much time we were going to take this morning, so one thing I will tell you that I did have a chance to talk to the president. I did shake his hand, and I followed my wife's instructions. She said I was authorized to say 2 words and 2 words only. Thank you. And he said, thank you, us. And I spoke to his wife too, and told her how important it was for those girls, for her to come to town. Senator Cornyn was here on that first Saturday. Senator Cruz came a little bit later in the week. We had both of them. Our congressman was there. Our state senator was there. Our state representative was there. This has been an all-hands-on-deck undertaking, just so you know. And I'm going to single out Commissioner Jones because he's kind of my eyes and ears over there at the EOC. But I think the least hours that you've had on a day is maybe 10. They've been going 15 and more. And a lot of times there's not anything for us to do other than to wait for the next thing that happens. That's the process. And I share that because it's break time. If anybody else wants to say, we've got some time right now, but
I'll just throw out one item. I want to give credit to our District 53 representative, Wes Riddell. He's been on the ground multiple times. He's shown up.
Nonstop.
Other people may have showed up for the presidential visit. Great. Glad to have all of them. But somehow he didn't get invited to meet with the president, which I feel bad for him. But I got to acknowledge Wes Riddell's been there for us. He's been great.
and Senator Flores too.
Exactly.
Yeah, Pete Flores been there a lot, and Chip Roy. Those three electeds have been at the EOC, or in Wes's case, he's been out working boots on the ground.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Ken Paxton's been there too, by the way,
Yeah,
just so you know.
yeah.
Let's take about a 10-minute break, come back at 10 o'clock.
Just